It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Steelers and the Ravens, and it comes your way next.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates, and I think we have a fairly interesting one here. Ben Roethlisberger of the Steelers, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
We do indeed, and something I'm going to be watching for. Who can get off to a fast start? If you can go out, get points on the first drive, preferably a touchdown, you can really set the tone for the game. And I think that both of these quarterbacks are more than capable of doing just that.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Ray McCloud to return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Here are the Steelers making their way out with their longtime starter, Ben Roethlisberger, leading the way.
And what a career we've seen from Ben Roethlisberger. Awfully consistent, tough, durable, strong in the pocket, great leader, a guy who stands in and throws it downfield, and has also added to his game the ability to get the ball out of his hands quickly and let his guys do work downfield.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The tackle made by L.J. Ford.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger on the draw. It's Harris. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Jackson, option right. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Jackson going to run. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And now out come the Steelers. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Second and 7. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger. He finds his target, Ebron. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. They hand this off to Harris, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 31 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee. Maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college? They went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the second round? That's what I call a steal.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
What, on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Seven, our score after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
for the successful field goal try. Here's Boswell to send it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson now. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's 2nd and a yard. On the ground, it's Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st down, Harris. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Again, it's Harris on second down. Shrugs him off. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It may sound cliche, but those are the types of yards he can get you. He's such a bruising back.
He is, and typically with that type of a back, if he has any type of stamina, it shows up later in the ball game. Because trust me, guys get tired of running up and trying to tackle that big fella. It wears on him, and then he gets stronger as the game goes on.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Thus far, they've been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Completion here to Claypool. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48.
Sack on first down took him out of the traditional running play and put him in a passing situation. But didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. On the option right is Jackson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that'll set them back 5.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Still first down.
On first down, they go option to the right.
And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in by Watkins here.
Okay, I'm not a fan of any routes that just, turn around defensive backs, mainly because I was a defensive back. But the comeback route is so difficult because to sell it, you're selling it like it's a deep route before you come back towards either the line of scrimmage or the sideline. And, boy, that one worked to perfection.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Not much there, only a yard.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And Jackson throwing once more. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens can take the lead now if they hit the extra point.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens will take over. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. What a break here. Turnover late in this first half, and now they're set up in field goal range already.
With a chance to get more. So what you're telling your unit as they go out onto the field is very simply this. We've got 3 in our hip pocket. Don't jeopardize that. But let's attack and go for the big one here. Let's go get 6 and give ourselves a chance to really feel good going into the half.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. He's saved back around the 28. Tyus Bowser. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a timeout signal for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Boswell's kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. On the return is Duvernay. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. White flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. On the return is Duvernay. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective. But there's nothing like seeing it actually work on game day. What we're seeing here, wow, what a performance by them so far.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I'd just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Play action. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. So no gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Harris, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that makes it a 9-point game. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson now. Forced out to his left. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
First downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Second down and 8. Throwing is Jackson. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. And Watkins, you see him there, still down and slow to get out. We'll check on his status when we get back. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Dobbins. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 40 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
You ain't gonna burn me.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Ravens are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. So nothing doing there, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are right back in this football game.
Let's go!
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 44. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver, but he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front, so if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. He picks up 3 on that carry.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Jackson, looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes, because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's McLeod on the return. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start the drive with Harris, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. 2nd down and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, They take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Now it's Roethlisberger. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. Shedding through the defense and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 63 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on 3rd down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And this will be caught by his big tight end, Ebron, for a Steeler touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now a conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Boswell for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
On the return is Duvernay. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. His throw incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now left side on the swing pass. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that's complete to Brown. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Jackson to throw. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.